There's a myth we keep buying into, and it's this. If we just give people more training, they'll perform better. That's a myth, completely and totally. And why is that a myth? Because employees attend workshops, earn certifications, complete modules, and then go back to their jobs and do things exactly as they did before. And the company continues to struggle. It's a massive generator of waste. And here's the data to back that up. 75% of managers are dissatisfied with their company's L&D function. 70% of employees say they don't have mastery of the skills they actually need to do their jobs. Only 12% of employees apply the new skills that they learn in their L&D programs. And just 25% of executives believe that training actually measurably improves their performance. So these stats, pulled from multiple studies, point to an undeniable truth. Most corporate training is a waste of time and money, which takes us to the real problem. Training isn't failing because people don't want to learn. It's failing because leaders don't truly understand what their business needs in the first place. And this is where I want to completely shift the conversation, because training isn't the root problem. Execution is. Hear me out. I am saying that training is not the problem. We cannot apply training as a solution when the problem is not lack of skill. The real problem is that training can help, but only where it helps execution. And where execution is breaking down is where training needs to be applied. It shouldn't be this magical pixie dust that we sprinkle over everything and expect to improve the business. And when I say it's an execution problem, I specifically mean 5 very distinct challenges. They are, number 1, a lack of clarity. Are teams genuinely aligned and pursuing the same definition of success? Or have silos and cross-functional dysfunctions become normal? Number 2, it's a lack of empowerment. Have the right people, time, energy, resources been given to everyone on the team to achieve that clear definition of success? Or are people struggling to do more with less? Number 3, it's a lack of engagement. Are people fully bought into the strategy, or are they just showing up to collect a paycheck? And number 4, the lack of accountability. Are people volunteering to be held responsible for execution, or do leaders have to use accountability as a weapon? And the 5th distinct challenge is the lack of culture. Does the company reinforce healthy execution behaviors, or does it simply reward people who deliver results, regardless of how they were achieved? You see, training can't fix what leadership isn't addressing. So before you spend a dime on training, ask this: where is execution actually breaking down? Because until you can answer that, you're just guessing. And I've seen it over and over. Companies roll out workshops and training programs and certifications, and then people go right back to doing things the old way because the environment hasn't changed. The context is still broken, and no training sticks in a broken context. If you really want to improve performance, you must flip the script and say this. Of all the things that I'm going to say in this video, this is it. Execution first, training second. So how do you do that? If anything in your execution is broken, you have to fix it first. Then maybe use training to reinforce the shift. So what should training look like? Well, let's flip the model. Solve the real execution problem first. Training should support the fix, not pretend to be the fix. Start with the execution gap and determine the root cause issue. This becomes the anchor point for any training and development plan. If you have a broken execution problem, you have to be putting energy into addressing it so that the training comes in underneath and alongside, not in place of. Second, make learning part of the job, not a break from it. Integrate the training with your execution where it matters most. Think embedded coaching and real-world problem-solving workshops, sessions, and just-in-time learning assets where people can grab what they need as they need to solve the problems of execution. It's all applied to how you want people to reinforce the execution solution that you've already introduced. You want the execution challenge to go away, not just people to say, I like the training. Third, focus on the few things that actually move the needle. Get your flywheel spinning with quick wins. Identify the few critical skills that will drive the biggest impact on execution and go all in on those. Do not spend all your time trying to be a perfect training program. If you can get noticeable wins from a very tightly focused, very likely 5% of all the things that people do, you will find a massive measurable impact. It drives typically 2/3 of the outcome you need, because the opposite of that is to build a learning strategy where 95% of all the things that could be done are probably at best only delivering 1/3 of the outcome you need. Flip the script, move it to very focused behaviors that you know will make a big impact, and just train on that and watch the needle move in the right direction. Number 4, turn learning into a journey, not an event. Research shows that we forget 75% of what we learn at an experience within a week if we don't use it. And trust me, we're covering way more than people can remember at most of our experiences. That's okay, but we want to make sure that we're using spaced repetition where key concepts from that experience are reinforced over time through coaching, application, peer learning, whatever. That's how behavior changes. Learning isn't learning unless behavior changes. And if you're trying to build a bench of top-tier talent, you can't send them off to an experience and come back as an all-star. It doesn't work that way. It takes practice, repetition, failure, and correction before those changes actually become automatic. That is a journey. That is not a one and done. And number 5, which is just as important as number 1, measure what matters. Most companies measure training success by completion rates and certifications and feedback from the people, but that's the wrong metric. The only thing that really truly matters is, did execution improve? If training isn't producing measurable improvements in execution, it's not working, and it should be redesigned or eliminated. I've seen this happen way too many times. Large companies spend massive amounts of money, not just in actual cost for the training, but actually the cost of people's time and salary being burned while they're sitting in some training event, and execution didn't change at all. That, my friends, is a total and complete waste. Look, the best leaders don't obsess over training. They obsess over execution. They know that training is a tool to that execution. It's not the solution. So stop asking, what training do we need? And start asking, where is execution breaking down? Because when you get that part right, training becomes powerful. And when you skip it, you're just decorating dysfunction. And pause. Let's make this personal. Are you using training to avoid the harder leadership work of digging into your execution? Are you pretending to invest in growth because it sounds good, but you're actually avoiding disruption? And here's your biggest mirror moment. If training disappeared tomorrow, how would you fix execution? That's a better way forward. It doesn't start with a workshop. It starts with a choice. Fix the system, then train the people. If this hits home, I've got something more for you. You can check out a free preview of my masterclass on strategic execution. It'll show you how to cut through the noise, get to the real reasons execution breaks down, and ultimately what to do about it. I'll walk you through a clear, proven framework that actually works. These are genuine best practices and strategies that will stop the grind and get your team thriving. Find the link in the notes section and take a moment now to invest in yourself. Holo mua. Onward and upward.